Welcome to this session on RISE with SAP for industry, in particular for the retail industry. My name is Dani Kalaf, and I am part of the industry business unit retail at SAP. And today I have the pleasure to explain a little bit the messaging, what is RISE, and also the tangible benefits that you may have for your digital transformation, and allow me to put, let's say, the rationale for and the impact of RISE, to put this in a larger context, the context of the challenges that we have seen over the past year and the challenges that may lay ahead of us. And I hope at the end of the session you will understand why we call it business transformation as a service. So the RISE brand is more than just a term. We really hope to make that journey, whether you are already on it or whether you plan to embark on it, to make that journey a little bit easier for you, to prepare you better for it, to accompany you, and also take maybe a little bit the fright out of this thinking to move to a new platform, to move into the cloud. Okay, when we talk about the larger context, what is it? Of course, it cannot be separate from the COVID crisis, and I long for the day when this is no longer part of my everyday conversation. But as a matter of fact, what has it done to us? Definitely, if we look at the 4 points here, and there's many, many more, it has accelerated a lot of things in terms of adoption of technology, digitalization, maybe innovation in your companies. So some of the plans that you may have had for 23 to 25 on an easy path, on easy roadmap, had to happen right now because the situation was so unexpected and so disruptive. So you needed to act, and you needed to act in a transformational manner rather than doing tiny little steps. So the resilience through portfolio restructuring, many of our customers have, allow me to say that, have survived the peaks of the pandemic, even the most erratic demands in the market, with a rather stable ERP and SAP landscape. But still, customers had to work immediately on making their portfolio more resilient. For instance, you know that we had this absurd demand for some of the products and a complete no demand any longer for some of the product luxury items while we were fighting over toilet paper. So these were, of course, phenomena that had no precedence, no blueprint. So supply chain systems went ballistic. Forecasting engines were totally confused, and we saw retailers working in the midst of disruption and uncertainty, sitting down and looking at the forecast engine, trying to fine-tune the forecast engine. So these are typically activities that you do when you have a little bit more leisure time, but you had to do this now, or reroute supply chains and so on. New forms of working, of course, we notice we are all stuck in home office, lonely, sipping in our beers, but also in retail companies, the ways of working had to be reshaped. So take away the contact, make it more frictionless, make it more efficient, try to reduce traffic, try to reorganize the way how stores are refilled and operated. And here, when we talk about green is the color of recovery, that sounds a little bit hippie, but as a matter of fact, we have seen that globalization is, of course, good for everybody's living standards, in particular in our countries. But all the travel and the trade and the interconnectedness of the world is definitely a determinant to spreading COVID as well. And when we look at, again, the benefits of having global supply chains, we also see this often happening on the back of developing countries. And when we are on the road of recovery, they have probably a long time before they are back on track again. And hopefully when we are beyond the pandemic, we will turn out better companies, better operations. We will think more of fairer supply chains, of thinking more about that everybody in the supply chain has a decent living and access to medical care and can also deal with these situations much better than today. So how did it affect our industry in particular? What we saw in retail, of course, different from segment to segment. It was very different for fashion than grocery. Grocery or fashion stores were closing down. Collections were not sold, so it was a total catastrophe. But some of these retailers totally switched to online business, and the same happened to a very big extent and in a much higher growth rate compared to where we started from, also for grocery, where food online was probably a tiny part of the business, and now it has become really big, up to 30% growth of online food. And in consequence, also models like, I want to pick up my groceries in the store, I want to do a curbside pickup. So in consequence, people had to rethink the role of the store. How do I manage my stores in order to allow for these click and collect models and so on? And we can be sure that food online, maybe it also has to do with the generation that is younger than us, those models are here to stay. What we also saw is that customers have taken on a more value-centric attitude. They may look more than before, or a larger percentage of the population may look at how retailers or retail companies act towards climate change, towards globalization, towards fairer or more fair supply chains, and are also willing to reward this. So retailers need to walk the talk and also make sustainability not a marketing fluff, but take this as a part of their entire operations across all stakeholders, across all departments, and as a strategic mandate. What has also shown as a winning recipe is retailers who could connect to their consumers better. So maybe not only giving them a coupon, but kind of talking to them in a way. Again, we were sitting here in home office, we were sometimes lonely, not a lot of contact, or even in quarantine. So retailers who could connect, who could somehow engage with customers, that helped them gain customers and also keep customers loyal to them. Circular economy, that's part of green is the color of recovery. We should think about, designing waste out of our products, designing waste out of the supply chain, trying to think about not everything should be bought and then thrown away. So this hyper consumerism should be tuned down a notch. And think about more rental business, subscription business, reselling, refurbishing, repairing. So not everything should go to landfill right away. Zero waste also in grocery is something that we should also, from an SAP perspective, integrate in our solutions. So these are the trends that we have seen. There will be, of course, many, many more, but definitely retailers need to focus again on their strategic priorities as a CEO agenda. Those priorities have not changed from a wording more or less, but they probably take on more different flavor. So let's talk about the customer centricity that is definitely our #1 priority in retail, because we are always very close to the consumer. So we are B2C, we are B2 human, and ever since we are on the horizon with our retail portfolio, we are able to digest consumer demand signals, consumer trends, consumer sentiments in a large number of different signals, and are able to turn them into insights and actions, be that in forecasting at micro level, be that in assortment planning, taking in the trends, and be that in personalization, So we mastered this business, and it has become more important. And as I just said, engaging with the customer and making them feel relevant has been a winning recipe for retail customers, and giving them curated products, giving them the feeling that our products are sustainable is also now part of this game. The segment of one, personalization with a purpose, again, connects to walk the talk, make consumers understand that you care about plastic waste, that you care about climate change, and so on. And also try to differentiate with adding more value to what you tell your customers, or maybe end up in having highly personalized products. Digital supply chain, again, from chain to circle, we should get circular. We should always try to think what happens once customers have bought our products, what happens to the product. Is waste an economic factor? Can I turn waste into something good? Can I maybe include plastic pickers into my supply chain? All these things should be rethought, and our supply chains or supply circles should be much better connected. The store again is the face of retail. Regardless how much it has been proclaimed dead, the store is what underpins our value proposition, what transports our brand image, and it will never go away. But of course, in the pandemic, the store has taken on the role of a fulfillment center across all segments. So it will be a warehouse from where people pick up their products. And the future of the store, and I will get to this, will be to embed much more technology into the store, to turn them into an experiential location that provides better inventory accuracy, better service, that makes the operations of store managers and associates much more efficient. And last but not least, new business models. Every industry head says this, but we need to kind of leave the framework of what we believe our business is, like retailing, selling products to people, and embed this into additional services and offerings that help customers achieve goals, or that support new outcomes for customers, like getting better health, or becoming more beautiful, or getting in a better shape. So these are outcomes or personal objectives that retailers need to support much more holistically, by maybe adding platforms or collaborating with networks and partners that deliver additional service to my original offering. And of course, this is not only the C-level agenda. These things need to go across the entire value chain, and all key stakeholders need to be part of the game. So when we talk about the new way processes are run, we can no longer think in silos. So procurement, who don't talk to logistics, or stores who don't talk to procurement, or marketing who only talks online but forgets store promotions. So these type of siloed operations are no longer possible. We need to think large holistic processes end to end from a business perspective, but also, I'm talking to SAP, from a system and integration perspective. So these processes need to run on unified data models. They need to be fully integrated across all landscapes that you have in your, or all solutions that you have in your landscape, whether they are on the cloud, on private or public cloud, meaningfully connected and end to end. So the processes that we look at in retail are idea to market. What are the new products that I would like to present to my customers in the next collection? Source to pay, procurement, supplier onboarding, plan to fulfill. Here, all the things that we do in terms of replenishment planning, allocation planning, but also supply chain execution, warehousing, transportation, and order to cash. It's probably one of the most complex processes dealing with customers from the first visit in our online shop to the point of sale, to the returns that they bring back to us. And all these processes, they touch on many, many systems. They go through many, many layers end to end, and they need to run seamlessly. So this is why we need technology platforms like the cloud platform or business technology platform, as we call it today, with reusable master data services and reusable business services and data models that all applications kind of understand, and not having point-to-point integration that require high TCO and high operations. And actually, most of this we will do for you because we invite you, or one large mechanic of the RISE is that you come to us into the cloud, and we take away a lot of the chaos that you have today in on-premise with your IT departments and your data centers down in the basement. So that's one aspect. The end-to-end processes holistically run across the entire landscape. And the second is, of course, when we talk about processes, we often associate this with best practices, but best practice is probably was yesterday. What we now need is best thinking. So going from common practices that we master today, I mean, no doubt most of our retailers are very smart and very savvy, and they know how to operate applications. They have great custom programs, they have great innovation, but it's still often clunky, not really integrated. So we want to take you to the next practices and help you with embedded science or with machine learning or other technical intelligence services to run your processes better. Maybe adding or run parts of the processes entirely from the cloud. So what we need to do is provide smaller native cloud products that are based on cloud services that can be reused by you, but also by our partner community, in order to get to what we call the vertical edge. This is where we actually want to get to. So we want to have a composable business, a great foundation of core systems, complemented with agile innovation on the cloud to create new scenarios and come up with new use cases that we may not even fathom at this point. So this is our vision. And here we also, from a retail investment, we put a lot of our development money into this part of innovation on the cloud, which we call industry cloud. And we center our efforts and our budgets in 3 buckets. One is everything about omni-channel retailing. Again, omni-channel is an old term, and sometimes I'm getting tired of using this, but it's still talk of the day. Combining digital channels with physical channels and allowing flexible, profitable, dynamic sourcing of online orders, orchestrating of orders into the relevant back-end systems, allowing customers to do commerce everywhere, ordering, picking up merchandise where they want, returning it where they want, and they are known across the board. So this is a big plan of ours to turn this in a much more cloud-based, agile business. The next is everything that is end-to-end planning in the cloud, so forecasting in the cloud that can serve all kinds of business scenarios, from the baking machine to a weather forecast, but also, and this is what I forgot to say, retailers are no longer alone. So we have a lot of blurring industry lines, and many other industries go B2C, like consumer products. They want to have a B2C channels. Telco, postal, oil and gas, they all want to go B2C. And these are also industries that can make good use of the assets that we are providing into a cloud platform. And in return, we may use innovation they bring onto that industry cloud platform. So I kind of forgot what I just wanted to say regardless. So yeah, the second bucket is planning application, assortment, planning as a service, forecasting, you name it, replenishment as a service from the cloud. And last but not least, the focus of development is the store. That would be the third bucket. Again, store is our face to the world, and we want to technologize or Netflix the store as much as possible for better inventory, better service, better guide me through the store operations, more efficient operations. And that would be our third investment bucket. And as I said, store as a fulfillment center, so click and collect and ship connection to carriers, that is all part of the game. Of what we want to achieve here on this platform or on the application side, to bring you further from common practice to next to the vertical edge. And how would we actually support this from a system or system layer perspective? Here we have the vision of our intelligent enterprise and an idea how this works all together. So on the top of this hamburger graphic, we would maybe see our typical business models for retail. It's B2C, but every retailer has B2B. We have vertical retailing in private label or branded manufacturing. We would like to support convenient subscription models. We see retail as a function. That's what I said earlier, making retail and our assets, our portfolio accessible for other industries, so they can get closer to the consumer. What else? Yeah, bringing value-added services, so offering a more holistic picture to the customer to support their outcomes. So these are models that translate into collaborations with the various stakeholders in our business network, the outside world, and those models also translate into different processes. So those holistic processes that I have raised shortly 2 slides ago, order to cash or plan to fulfill, they have variations depending on what the business model is I want to support. They have segment-specific variation, whether we are a fashion retailer versus a grocery retailer. And all these processes are currently also being modeled holistically and SAP agnostically in a large business framework. Very important. I don't want to go into the future by simply electrifying what I have today. So when I look at moving to S4 or starting a digital journey, it should be that I analyze my processes, that I see where are the bottlenecks, where do I go around in unnecessary circles, lose time and energy, and what would be a better variation of my process? Where can I optimize? Where can I maybe make leverage new capabilities in S4 or in adjacent application that I haven't known of and that have been supported by custom-specific programs in my current ECC. So business process intelligence, the analysis, the optimization is a big part of the intelligent enterprise and should be continuously, of course. And when we look at solution stacks, so here in the middle, the patty of the bun, the burger, is we are relying on, of course, our intelligent suite. So the suite experience, the integration is always a unique selling point for SAP. And we have a set of core application, our ERP, the digital core S/4HANA, also for retail and fashion, or our supply chain management systems, our HR finance systems, our web shops. So all the SAP applications that you need to run stable on a long-term foundation, but it's typically not the first place to be agile and stand out against competition or create innovative scenarios. Here we always look in the B model IT picture on more agile platforms, and this is what we call the industry cloud. We have a native cloud platform with services that we can plug into, so generic services like blockchain, machine learning, analytics, mobility, security, and that we are now using in order to create industry-specific innovation and content here on this cloud platform. Again, new solutions, as I said, in the area of omni-channel, in the area of the intelligent store, in the area of planning in the cloud that you can use, and that will be complemented by partner innovation or your own innovation to create your future scenarios. All this, the platform, the technology, business technology platform is the basis for this. So these are not two different layers, but industry cloud is of course residing directly on the services that we provide via this layer. And when it comes to infrastructure, again, when we talk about RISE means everybody get up and goes into the cloud. Nobody shall sit or remain in on-premise. And we know that you may have preferences for Google or Microsoft Azure or other cloud providers, or maybe even SAP data center. So we are actually giving you the options to bring your applications into the cloud. Also not necessarily start fresh, but we have this great offering as part of RISE, which is the private cloud edition that allows you to take whatever you have in ECC or in S4, and in our case, maybe also in customer activity repository and consuming application, keep that and all the investments that you have put into and move it into the cloud where we run it on a private cloud for you. So no longer disruption, greenfield implementation, which scared off a lot of customers that heard our messaging from like last year or 2 years ago. This is now a complete different picture. And I will show later on what are the additional benefits that you have from this RISE move. So yeah, I believe that is a little bit the intelligent enterprise architecture that we believe can support you holistically. And that's actually where you need to land. So your future enterprise should more or less look like a burger. Still, a lot of questions before you start the journey. Yesterday, I talked to a customer and they really say, I don't know how to start. Yes, you need to prepare. You need to look at what you have today. What are your custom code artifacts? Will this still run? Is there enough value on the move? Many customers challenge us. Yeah, I have ECC and it's running well. What is S4 bringing in addition? Definitely S4 is a better digital core in many, many ways, from a UI perspective, from a speed perspective, from the fact that it's HANA native and gives you the chance to run analytics on the operational system and many, many more, plus a lot of functionality that have not been there in the old ECC. But we also recognize that S4 alone is not doing the trick. And this is also part of the RISE for Industry messaging that we have adjusted a little bit compared to the January announcement of RISE with SAP S4HANA. So again, the question still, a lot of partners to align, a lot of many hands to shake when I want to do something. So all these things we have tried to simplify for you commercially, contractually, and also from a license perspective and from a packaging perspective that helps you prepare and start that journey into your future intelligent enterprise. So what is exactly RISE and RISE for industries? Again, when we look back at the first announcement of RISE was in early 2021, so in January 27th, when Christian Klein came up with SAP RISE with SAP S/4HANA. So S/4HANA as a public cloud or a private cloud, so here they're completely equal, was actually the carrier agent of this RISE idea. And it was packaged with additional services, tools, and licenses that actually make this intelligent enterprise a little bit more tangible. So it has facets of this entire burger. So the digital core as the center, but also it had vouchers for the business technology platform. Not so many, but it's to give you a starter pack to try out some innovation using the technology platform, which used to be known as the SAP Cloud Platform. To connect to the external world and interact with your business network, we had packed into this new SKU business network application starter packs for Ariba, for Asset Intelligent Network, for logistic business networks, in order to analyze your processes. We had packed in business process intelligence, so you get your reports and you see what you can do better later on. And we packed in all the services that you need to prepare for the journey: the custom code analyzer, the readiness check, a learning hub licenses, and a lot of goodies. And most of all, when we talk about RISE, again, get up and start your journey into the cloud. We also give you the choice and the flexibility to select your favorite cloud infrastructure. So we can benefit from the savviness that these guys of Google and Microsoft have, and some of the services they can provide to run the infrastructure. But we will go in for application management services and make sure that we can keep the service level that we agree with you in one contract with SAP as the single point of contact. So that is all good, but again, with S/4HANA, it's not enough. It's the next generation is not only about replacing the ERP, even if it's a better ERP. So we want to kind of, put this entire RISE into a value proposition that makes sense for retailers. It will not may not address all the pains you have or the strategic priorities, but one important priorities, and in the case of retail, I would like to address becoming a seamless omni-channel retailing business. So for this, I don't need only S/4HANA. I need an ERP, of course, that's the fulfillment backend, but I also need other solutions. And we were allowed to create packages that we call transformation packages, or bundles, curated sets of solutions that include cloud solutions from SAP, like Commerce Cloud, industry cloud solutions from partners, or own native cloud solutions that we have developed on the industry cloud platform, or other private cloud editions like customer activity repository. So there is no retailer at this point who would not, I guess it's fair to say, who would not consider customer activity repository in addition to orchestrate omnichannel, to run planning applications. So it's almost like a sibling to our S/4HANA retail or fashion. And all these applications are now able to be, are available as cloud deployments. So we have commercialized and turned them into private cloud options. So there is no reason for customers to say, yeah, I have so many applications from SAP and they are on-premise applications. We have turned our portfolio almost fully in full completeness into cloud options for you. So, and what are the main value drivers? So it's the new capabilities that we have with S4, in particular S4 retail or S4 fashion. And the second layer is all the cloud features that will make your life easier, because you don't have to worry about keeping the light on all the time, and you can really focus on innovation and bringing your company forward. So let's have a look at some value that we deliver through S4. I mean, we are now in the 4th year of S4HANA Retail and Fashion. And of course, we have many capabilities that have been there in ECC, but we keep adding features and functionality and innovation, just to name a few, like bonus buy and sales orders. So this is referred to as omni-channel price and promotional offer. We have fully verticalized our, let's say, value chain. So you can now run on one data model, on the retail data model, and on the retail process template, manufacturing, wholesale, and classical retail. We keep investing in the store as part of the S4 backend, creating more in-store Fiori apps that are to a large extent already enabled by RFID to make this more efficient, but also support already now omni-channel scenarios like click and collect with new apps for omni-channel fulfillment. So this is just a selection of few of the new capabilities that we have, and there's many more, like logistics products, inventory management at pack sizes. We have I don't even want to get started. We have value papers where you can actually track the progress that we make in retail on the S4. But when we get to the vertical edge, we need to look at the innovation platform, the industry cloud, here in magenta, where we actually realize those scenarios: personalized products, experiential retailing, store inventory with augmented reality. So things that we want to create on top of these cloud solutions that SAP brings to the table, but also partners and yourself. We have a few products already now, both SAP as well as partners, like omni-channel promotion pricing, a cloud service that takes care of consistent prices across all channels. We have a partner application or partner applications by GK that are cloud solutions that we qualify as industry cloud solutions. We will here, those with the asterisks are things that we are progressing on, that are in the making, catering to omni-channel commerce. Or here I even have a name already, but it's not delivered yet, a new scheduling engine that schedules centrally order dates and delivery dates. You know, we have a lot of traffic in retail, a lot of logistics, a lot of trucks that go in and out. And we have many variations of holidays. And if you look at Switzerland, each village has a different holiday calendar. In order to manage this, we were always looking or trying to come up with a solution. And now the cloud is for us the right place to start designing such a solution for central scheduling. So there's many from the industry cloud platform that will enhance the suite applications and the processes that run there. Okay, as I said, RISE, I presented a little bit the RISE package. It's supposed to take you to the cloud. It's supposed to make your transformation easier, to help you with preparation, to help you with realization. And the RISE for retail now is a more personalized offer, personalized in the sense that we want to meet you and that we want to address a certain business priority, or call it a challenge or a business pain. And for what I want to address here with a curated list of solutions is definitely omnichannel retailing and fulfillment to allow commerce everywhere for you and your customers. And my proposal or recommendation for you that you can be sold to or that you can purchase under one material number, so that is taking a lot of discussion out of the commercial negotiation, is this list of solutions. So of course, the S/4HANA is always the foundation. That is the product that we rely on, also with our industry vertical for retail or for fashion or fashion, in conjunction with our sibling application customer activity repository. As I said, it's available as a private edition and it's part of this bundle. But there is no omnichannel retailing without a digital channel, which is represented here by Commerce Cloud. And there is no omnichannel retailing without the store. So we have added the industry cloud solution by a partner. This is omnichannel point of sale by GK. And in order to have consistent prices, we added another own SAP owned industry cloud solution, which is omnichannel promotion pricing. So this is a bundle that is not rigid. It can be changed. It can be modified. You can add, you can remove items. But the idea was to make this a little bit easier to not only throw a bill of price list items at you, but actually pre-configured scenarios, because we can with confidence say that the combination and the interaction of these solutions is on a solid architecture. It's not that we have invented this yesterday. We have come some way. We have had this on premise, and now we have most of this as a cloud deployment as well. But we know that the interaction between customers who visit our web shop, who look for inventory in real time, both in stores and distribution centers, who will be given a supply source into their order right away out of customer activity repository cloud. We have the fulfillment of online orders in our S/4HANA backend. We have a connection of prices and offers into our point of sale partner, and we can orchestrate omnichannel prices and promotions consistently with promotion pricing. And we're using the technology platform for all kind of integration, and using the master data services and the order and the transactional services that we store here, and for integration, and having that master data and process integration across this scenario. And possible add-ons could, of course, be customer data cloud or customer data platform, or our new marketing solution, which is called SAP Immersive Customer Engagement, and others. So, but those golden ones are part of the package. So we see that this is benchmarks, outside-in figures that retailers can improve across all shareholders, top line, bottom line, green line, and can move out strategically. And as I said, so we have the capabilities, we have the solution, we have the cloud option for all the solution, and last but not least, the cloud itself is beneficial. So most of these things are direct effects from cloud, like as a service experience. SAP will be, for RISE deals, will be a single point of contact. We take care of talking to the hyperscalers. We will make sure that your service level agreements are kept. But on top of this, you will be able to choose your partner of choice in order to do the actual implementation and the configuration. But you will get updates much quicker because we do the updates for you, and innovation gets to you much faster. And with that new Flex bundle, you have a very simple commercial or very simple contract. Operational resilience, the architecture is also proven. We can benefit from the hyperscaler savviness of infrastructure resilience. Security is probably even better than what you can have on your own data center. And the TCO is also predictable. Hyperscaler economics you can leverage. You can get innovation much faster. So everything that is connected to cloud and to get you ready for the journey, it's all about business process analysis and optimization, using the right tools to start the journey and look at what you have now and what the things will look like on your go-to application. And the business technology platform will help you with integrating and also innovating and extending your current processes. So these are a few customer examples. Many customers use a combination of some, very few, all of these solutions, but there is a certain kernel of this solution list of curated solutions that is present in many customers, and they get benefits from this. And when it comes to getting started, there's a lot of service people and SAP experts and architects that help you from initializing, describing the value case to actually delivering the solutions and having a continuous value flow. So you're not alone. We have the engagement model that spans across the entire life cycle of your projects. So I believe that would be the end of my presentation. RISE should make your transformation easier across all the layers: application, commercials, integration, getting ready, running, basically every aspect